Here we go. So in this video, I'm going to review the Bodylastic bands, and I'm going to see how these bands hold up. If you don't know, my name is Disciplined Dave, where I put the technique in your physique, and my whole channel is dedicated to resistance bands workouts. So not only do I review bands, I also have workouts. So if you want to go ahead and check those out, you can do that after this video. I have a bunch of workout videos with resistance bands. Also, if you were checking out the thumbnail, you're gonna see that I'm gonna test out these bands to see if they pop. So make sure you watch the video to the end so you can see what the test results are. And trust me, I do some pretty intense testing on these bands. Now, if you've never heard of Bodylastic bands, it's one of the most popular selling bands on Amazon. They also sell on their own site here. And so when I started my YouTube channel with resistance bands, I always got comments about Bodylastic bands. So I went ahead and I purchased these bands myself. That's right, no one's paying me to say any of this. I'm not sponsored by Bodylastics. I paid with it with my own money. And if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Disciplined Dave. I posted a photo of me purchasing these bands. Now first, let's talk about what comes in the box. So you're gonna get this nice bag first. This is a pretty big bag. Listen, all resistance bands companies, take note. Give us a big bag to put these bands in. There's so many bands that I've tested and reviewed, and the bag is just small. You're cramping everything in there, and there's a lot of stuff happening in a resistance bands bag. That's the first thing that I appreciate about the Bodylastic bands, is that they give you a big bag to put everything in. All right, so you got like this little loop handle here. So they give you this card right here, if you can see. And it says, congratulations on receiving your new Bodylastics product. It's asking you to give it 5 stars, the experience, and it gives you a website on where to go to start instructions. Okay, so that's that. If you need instructions, go ahead and check that out. So what comes in a box here? So first of all, you've got your door stopper. Nice big wheel. I love bands that have a nice big wheel as a door stopper. To be honest with you, as long as you have some type of wheel, the size doesn't matter in this case. So you want to make sure that you just have one with the wheel on the end so it doesn't slip through the door. They give you a really big oversized one in this bag. Now, this is something that I really enjoy when a company focuses on the details. So a lot of times the ankle straps are an afterthought. And in this one, you can tell they have really good padding on here. It's not the best I've seen, but I would say probably like second best. Because most bands, especially if you're buying like cheap ones on Amazon, they're gonna be like really thin, there's no padding. And if you're gonna use the ankle straps, then they're gonna cut into your ankles. So I don't use the ankle straps a lot, but I definitely do them in some leg exercises. And when I do them, I wanna make sure I'm comfortable doing it. So I'm not worried about it scratching me, I'm itching, or that nylon cutting into my legs. And so I know I can have confidence with these, especially with the material here. Now the next thing, one of the most overlooked things is handles. And these handles, they are really good handles. You got great grip on there. I like this style here with the thick plastic that goes through because I see that these hold up a lot better. I think a lot of people's focus is on band snapping versus actually the handles. I've actually had more handles crack on me and break in the inner portion than I've had bands snap on me. I think that's a very overlooked point, that people don't really pay attention to the handles, and these handles are great. So if you buy these bands here, they're really good handles. It has kind of a circle loop here, and it seems like it's welded right here in the middle. Now, with that, when it comes to it being welded like this, I'm not sure how good the metal is. So that's something I would look into when purchasing bands, is actually how the connections are. Because I actually had rings break on me, I've had them bend, and then you gotta bend them back in place. So I've had those type of issues more than I had with bands snapping. Now, what are we here for? The bands. So you get, all right, so 1, 2, 3, there's 4. Hold on, I know there's like a black band. Let me get that one. All right, sorry about that. I was using it for my testing, so I had it in a different room. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna get 5 different bands in this pack. They sell other packs that have more on there. I just went with this one. And so, yeah, that you're gonna get that resistance on there. They're all labeled here with the resistance numbers. And if you watch any of my previous videos, I tell you that these numbers really don't mean anything because your resistance level is gonna change depending on how much you're stretching it, how much tension is applied, depending on the exercise, but they're a guide, not the rule. But the one that goes up the highest here, so 19 pounds would be the highest resistance on these resistance bands here. And you see these are the type of D-ring hooks that you get on here, or D-ring, I mean, carabiner, yeah, carabiner hooks. Yeah, I always have trouble with that word. But that'll be the type of hooks that you get on there. And I did a lot of different exercises when it comes to these resistance bands, and they definitely did the job. I will tell you that when I first got them out of the box, they didn't seem any different than the cheaper ones that I bought on Amazon. So I was pretty skeptical that these are the ones that are the patented anti-snap. I was like, yeah, whatever. And so, I mean, like, even if you look at my inner layer here, there's bands that I've reviewed before that have a thicker inner layer. And so I was thinking like, oh, I don't know how these are gonna hold up. Is it a gimmick about this whole anti-snap? So that was just my first initial thoughts. Now, what I don't like is, I don't like the carabiner hooks like this on the band. The reason why is it comes to a certain point and there's a lot of pressure at that point, and I've had this nylon tear away on me. So I like ones that have a even pressure over there instead of using the carabiner hooks, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of tension, especially if you're working out heavily when it comes to those bands. And so I find that problematic a lot of times. Also, I love the grip of the handles, but I don't like this type of loop here. I don't like that it's welded here. It definitely doesn't make me feel secure under high pressure. So that's another thing that I really didn't like. But over all of that, the main thing that Bodylastics is known for is their patented anti-snap technology that they put into their bands. I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but you can take a little brief look at their website and you can see how their patented technology works. So like I said, I was very skeptical when I first got them in because they didn't feel any thicker than the cheap ones I bought on Amazon that have snapped on me. And so I was very eager and curious to test them out. So this is how the testing went. All right, so I think the first thing that we should do is try it with a belt instead of the duct tape. Cause I don't want it to, like, you know, the sticky stuff, the residue may get on you. Yeah, it'd be hard to get out. All right, so put that on my back and kind of.
I don't think that belt is wide enough.
Well, we're gonna find out. I feel like it gotta go up a little bit more.
Yes. All right, undo the belt.
All right, we good? All right, so looks like we put the duct tape down. All right, test number 1. Let's see if it pops. All right, so we're gonna try the lightest band. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? It seems like the same material of a lot of the cheap bands I buy on Amazon, but it says anti-snap, so let's see. So usually the light one has a lot of stretch. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's the max tension right there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, nothing. All right. So far, it seems like when I put it to the max tension, there's like it's like, nope, that's it. No more further stretch, which is a good thing. So let's try a different tension band. Let's go with the red one. So we got less linear stretch with a thicker band. So So let's try it on this one. All right. Still nothing. Get down in here. I want y'all to see. I'm really giving it my all. I'm not babying this. Yeah. It's almost like it reaches like a maximum tension and it just doesn't go beyond that. So I'm really trying to give all this force. Still nothing. All right. So attempt number 2, no popping so far. So let's get something that's thicker and then it'll have like less linear stretch. We're gonna go with this green one here. Attempt number 3. Man, I'm really. Nothing. All right, watch this. I'm trying to do a run and start. All right, here we go. Man, I'm doing this for you guys. All right, make sure you hit that like button, okay? Because I'm worried that it'll hit my back. So come on, this is for y'all. Here we go. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Oh, Mrs. Discipline Dave is right now holding the camera. Her eyes are so wide, she's so worried that it's gonna pop. But I'm telling y'all, like, nothing so far. I mean, it's really living up to it as far as right now. Like, no issues with it popping. Once again, there's like a point where it just doesn't go any further. And, all right. So we'll do the thickest band. I mean, I'm pretty sure the thickest band will hold up. But in my experience, it's like the light bands are the ones that snap. Bodylastics patented anti-snap bands. Okay, this is the thickest one, so less linear stretch. Let's see. Hold on. All right, get it even. Look, I can get like a little Michael Jackson lean. And fully confident. Like, I'm putting all my weight down, all of it. I'm at max tension. I'm trying to even push even more pressure down. Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, I will say that I kind of heard some noises in the rings, which I feel like I'm confident with the band, but these loops, I'm not sure what type of metal or material that they're using here, but it doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence about these bending or snapping. I'm very confident with the bands, but other than that, I mean, I think the only thing I would change would be their system of the hooks. Seems like a lot of pressure at one point of the nylon, a lot of pressure on this loop here. I'm not sure how much this metal can support it, but all in all, it's living up to what it's saying as far as the anti-snap. So I think it's safe to say that they do what they say they guarantee, anti-snapping. Discipline Dave approved. Now, as you see with my strenuous testing, that these bands here definitely live up to the anti-snap, and I gave it my all. And Mrs. Discipline Dave was scared. She was very scared. But we were all safe. I think that I found out later on that that pillow was dipped down the whole time, so if it did snap, I think my back would have not been protected. The overall feel that I have about these bands is that they are a notch above the ones at Amazon. They definitely live up to the hype of not being able to snap. Are these my favorite bands? That's the question. No, they're not. Some of the mishaps that are on here with other bands that I've tried, for instance, the Toro bands, They have a patented design on their hook, their carabiner hook, and it levels out the tension so you don't have to worry about it all coming to one point. I love all the hooks that they use on those type of bands. And also, they don't have the patented anti-snap technology, but I'll tell you this, if you're buying something of high quality, like I've never had an issue with snapping. I've only had it with one. That was like a set of bands that I paid like $15 for. And so I think that there's a lot of paranoia about snapping, and I think it's in the wrong place. As I was saying before, handle quality, the type of connections that they use is way more important. And that's what I really like about the Toro bands, because I feel very confident with all the connections. Also, it's heavier resistance. I'm a bigger guy. I definitely want something with more resistance. The Bodylastic can give you that resistance, but you're adding a lot of multiple bands to get the same resistance that I was getting with Toro bands. And I feel like with more bands, more moving parts in metal, it's more room for things going bad. And so that's why I prefer something that has higher resistance. Like the Toro bands, their heaviest band is an 80-pound resistance band, and this was 19. And I know I said don't pay attention to the numbers or anything, but the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you stack this band up to the other bands on Bodylastic, they're so much thicker. And with that, they give you a lot more resistance. And so it's not that more resistance is the best thing, because actually bands that are not as thick have more of a linear stretch, which is better for some other exercises. So I would choose something like this as my secondary source of bands, because I want a heavy duty band and I want something that's a little bit lighter. And it's great that it doesn't snap, and because the lighter bands are the ones who usually have the issues with the snapping on there, because there's less latex material that is coil around that band. And so overall, it's a great set. Is it the best? No, but I would recommend going ahead and watching my Toro bands review video, and that way you can make a clear decision after watching this video. Those are my thoughts. If you want to purchase these bands, I have a link in the description below. So just make sure you click the link there, help support the channel. And if there's some other bands you would like to see me review, just go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll make sure that the most votes of whatever bands that I hear, that I'll go ahead and do a review for you. Now, the most important thing is that it's not so much about the bands, about the man using the bands. So go ahead and make sure you check out my workout videos so you can go ahead and put these bands to use.